Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Outlaw Radio. What's going on? What's going on is the name of the show tonight. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the architect of Chocolate City. That's why they call me the mayor of Chocolate City. And keep in mind, it's all in my head. But welcome to the show, Outlaw Radio. What's going on a Wednesday night? Man, a lot to talk about. A lot. It's like this well never runs dry if you're a person of color. Yeah, it's always something to talk about. So if you're into hearing people talk about shit, right? If you're into black people talking about black people shit, this is the show for you. If you one of those opinionated, passionate, talk with his hands type of black people, this is the show for you. Foundational Black Americans. 414, stand up, right? Capitol Drive, stand up. Let's give it up. Yeah. Dion in the chat room complaining. He said, man, niggas always late. Listen here. There's a phone number attached to this show, right? So you can actually call in and participate. Your voice will be heard. But there's also a chat room in which people it pops. The chat room always pops, regardless. As black people say, irregardless of the situation. It pops. I see Ewok in the chat room early. There you go, my brother. Power to the people. Man, oh man. Normally we're here on Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm having a latency problem again with my camera. I don't know what's going on. Y'all give me a second. Let me clear this up. I don't know what's going on with the camera. I don't know what's going on. This is a situation in which black people have a lot to lose, but I think we've already gained a certain amount, right? I feel like in my head, so yeah, the deal is we're arguing over I don't know. What are we arguing over? Whether or not we'll be okay, depending on who's in office. I don't know if that's what we're arguing over. But the fact that we're arguing is what I'm most excited about. I'm actually happy that we are passionate about politics right now. So we're going to talk about the debate. We're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff. Y'all bear with me if this technology goes in and out. It ain't me. I'm just a man, not a machine. Dion says you should have. He was talking about if you missed this because I was switching cameras. He said we should have done a debate, a watch party with the debate. So I want to talk about that. And amongst other things, first of all, I have to say rest in peace to Frankie Beverly, 77, I believe. Once again, since this is a platform for black people, foundational Americans, Frankie Beverly is one of our cultural icons. Musically, culturally, like the first grown person music you get acquainted to is usually Frankie Beverly and Maze, because you hear Southern Girl, or you hear Golden Time of the Day, or Alone, or I mean, come on, and the thing about it is I don't know when the last time the brother even made an album. But those songs spin regardless, man, and it's a living testament to young people. Like if you're a young aspiring artist right now, you can look at Frankie Beverly and Maze, you can listen at their music, and you can really hear how it's done. Like in terms of writing, in terms of production. I mean, if you made this song 40 years ago and you can do a show right now and sell out the room and everybody in that room is singing that song with you word for word. These are songs that are played at black weddings. black get-togethers, black cookouts, Frankie Beverly and Maze. So before I let go, somebody got to put that on. And everybody, that's the number one. What's the dance, Bear Me? It's not the electric slide. What is it? If they gonna play before I let go, it's a dance. What is it? It ain't the Cupid shuffle. Black people get up in unison. Doom, 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 doom. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace to him, man. A loss, but such is life. 77 years old. Prayers and condolences to his family. And a lot of people don't know that brother's history, and that he was actually brought into the game by Marvin Gaye. And so Marvin Gaye was the one who heard him or them somewhere and said, yo, because he was around, man. He had a very long career. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace to Frankie Beverly, man. Rest in peace. And if you lost somebody, I don't want you to just think, oh, well, he only, gives a shout out when it's a celebrity. If you've lost someone, right? Prayers and condolences to your family as well. Because we know in the city we live in, shit happens, right? Share the show, man. Share the show, share the show, share the show. Bring everybody in, because this debate is, Dion said I should have done a watch party. How many of y'all sat through the whole debate? If you sat through the entire thing, see, I'm going to admit I didn't sit through the entire debate. I wasn't going to do it, but I did watch the parts. I watched it, at length, and then I watched the parts that people talked about, the ones that were the most hot button topic type flow. So let's talk about the debate. First of all, what did it really mean? I mean, we're in a situation where if you're a Trump voter, there's no talking you off the cliff. At this point, because of Trump being one of the most ridiculous individuals I've ever seen in my life, people refuse to even acknowledge that. They love him. They're going to support him. They're going to vote for him. They're going to follow him. That's fine. Do what you will do. But after you listen at him talk last night, did it change your opinion anyway? I mean, are you woke? And I ain't talking in the sense of like white people using it. I'm saying, are you actually really conscious? Because this dude he's off the wall. Some people say, oh, but he tells the truth. He gives it to you straight up. But the crazy part is last night he told a bunch of lies. And they kept saying they had a fact checker sitting there. Now, I did kind of feel like the moderators were pro-Trump. Like, I mean, not proactive to Trumpism, not pro-Trump, because it seemed like they was locked and loaded for him. Like, and they didn't allow him to get away with shit. Like when he would say some false shit, oh no, that's not true, Mr. President. That's not true. That's not true. And he don't give a fuck. He just kept talking. Hey, yeah, and well, she hates Iran. She hates. Now, the flip side is, was her performance stellar? I don't really think so, because I'm one of them people who I've already made my mind up about her. Just as I've already made my mind up about Trump, right? So when I say, that's how I know, like if you're watching the debate, if you're still really that much on the fence, then I don't know. I don't know what how you draw it up, because it's obvious that this dude is a straight clown, man. If you like him, you like him. I get it. But you cannot say he's not a clown. He is a whole clown. And he's a criminal, and he's a con man, and he's everything an old white man usually is. He's opinionated, he's brash, he's racist, he's prejudiced, he's misogynistic. You know what I mean? Like he's a male chauvinist. That's what old white men are. Ernest, he walks in the chat room, he said a blithering idiot who's respected by people who don't have good sense. Wow, shit. You putting it on him right there. But okay, so let's look at this and let's try to be as logical as we possibly can, realistically. And one thing I'm privy to is because I speak to a lot of people from different sides on this show, and people get to put their opinion out here. That's why if you're pro-Trump and you call or you put it, we're not gonna lose our shit. They'll be like, all right. Everybody's opinion is respected, right? So I hear a lot of people with the counter to her, like, you know, and I've even heard people talk about policy. So we start talking about his tax policies and stuff like that. So we got into that, and we're gonna cover that. Real, what it do, man?
Chilling, man, chilling. Happy to be able to make it. I'm trying a new area because my signal started getting shitty in the basement. I ain't been able to like make a full episode because it'll disconnect. So I'm upstairs to see how we do this this time.
Yeah, man, you got to sit down and talk. We got to get you a kit. We got to get you a starter kit, man, because I got to get you a microphone, some headphones, so you can enjoy this thing sonically for what it actually is. We'll talk, man.
Sure.
You know, we got to hook up anyways. Me and my brother went bananas last Sunday with the RCs.
Oh, word.
Oh my gosh. Many. Welcome to the show, though, man. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's Outlaw Radio. What's going on? And when I say that, I didn't put a question mark on it, so I know that wasn't, you know, my punction, you know, it wasn't right. It wasn't, you know. And because it's more of a statement than a question. It's like, what's going on? And what's going on is we had this crazy ass situation with this election. Now that debate, did you watch any of it? Let me ask you that before I even start talking.
No, okay. You know, to me that shit like wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Like wrestling, like wrestling. Okay.
It's like, man, them motherfuckers probably wouldn't have a drink afterwards.
What you gonna do, brother? When democracy runs wild on you, right?
At least Macho Man and Hulk Hogan really hated each other, though.
Well, no, I thought they was best buddies behind the scenes.
At one point in time, they was, and they broke bad, man.
Well, so you know what this is? This is in wrestling. If you like, and I grew up in the '80s, so you know wrestling. That we say wrestling. White people say wrestling.
Right.
But we watch wrestling on TV, and it's the thing that they have called kayfabe, which is the gig is always the gig. Meaning, if I'm a bad guy, I got to be a bad guy even when I ain't at work. So when people see me, I got to be that character. And then the secrets of the matches being predetermined and how they scripted it, that's all kayfabe. That was never supposed to have been revealed to the public, right?
Right.
And so it's like that with politics too. It's kayfabe. Like they know what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty much scripted when, except for the part when he started talking about eating dogs, right? And what's dope about this is fucking with my brother. I got a whole new perspective on this shit. I'm about to piss some people off tonight. Y'all better tell people to tune the fuck in. Listen, this is real shit. I'm about to reveal a revelation to y'all tonight on Outlaw Radio. Joe in the chat room, Joey Phillips, he said, "What up, Outlaw Radio? Peace. Love. My big homie, man. My other brother, man. My other brother. Right. Shout out to, oh my God, shout out to JoJo. And the whole hood, 17th Capitol. Dion said the vice president has no policy. She or he is the placeholder for the president and the deciding vote in the Senate. That's it. That's all. He said, what the fuck? Listen.
Is Biden still alive? Anybody seen him?
Biden is entirely alive. Biden is done. Like, why are people? There's like Trump. Like, what y'all do with him? What do? You just threw him away. He doesn't exist. Is he dead? Trump, what the fuck are you talking about? He's not running. He ain't running.
I ain't seen him at all.
Nobody, his motherfucker been chilling. He had COVID and he was like, I'm up. And I'd have done the same shit. Like, man, I ain't got time for this shit, man. Falling asleep on TV and shit. What? Yeah. But check this out. Check this out, y'all. Trump said the illegal immigrants in Illinois are eating our pets. He said they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. And this is what Trump actually said. This ain't no Kev, you heard that from some. I was watching it. He said they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, right?
Could be.
I told my brother this. I said that's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my life because, you know, they're not eating the dogs and the cats. And then my brother said, when the last time you seen the cat around here? And I said, well, it was one. I seen one the other day. He said, in how long? And then he said, you know what the coincidence is? I said, what? He said, all these Hmong people live across the street.
Wow. Well, they not illegal.
He said they done ate all the cats. That's why there ain't no cats over here, man. So now, is there some truth to this? I need to holler at my Hmong brother and sister.
I don't know if Hmong people do it, but I do know that other people do eat, like in certain countries,
It's a delicacy.
They eat cat, rat, dog.
And we got them running free. They free range cats. Like, ain't even nobody cat. Like, nobody's gonna call him in missing. And look, and then there's not a lot of cats, and they always having get-togethers. What are they cooking?
Oh wow! I'm not gonna say them because they not illegal. I mean,
was Trump all the way off? Are they really eating our pets?
I mean, would it be like what's pets to us? Okay, motherfuckers had chickens for pets, and I just had some chicken tonight. Like, I don't give a fuck what somebody
So, and with that means I got a chicken coop in my backyard. I live next door to you, right?
Yeah.
One of my chickens get out. You like, Kev, you already know what's popping.
Free dinner. Free dinner. Thank you, Lord.
Like fried chicken the whole year. You gonna do
I'm a hunter.
Abundance, Lord.
Hey, I'm a hunter.
Right. So if I got a cat and you're Asian and you live next door, you like, you know, if that motherfucker get out, it's soup.
I don't necessarily got to be Asian, but if I don't mind eating, I mean, you know,
I'm telling you, Trump said these immigrants are eating our pets, man. Look, dogs go missing every day. You don't see many. Remember when I was little, you be sitting in front of the house, see a stray dog just walking down the street. I ain't seen no stray dog in years.
Shit, I'd rather get ate than see a stray dog. I remember having to jump on cars and shit for stray dog.
Eat that worry now. No, ain't no more stray dogs.
Eat that motherfucker.
And the cats I'm like, rats is over here. It's like no cats. I think I might go get a kitten and just let him loose. That might not be the best idea. What's happening, Kamar? What's going on, man?
What's happening, y'all?
Peace.
Man, it's Outlaw Radio as usual, man. Because I was bugging when Trump said they was eating our pets, but then I started to think about it. Now, this won't necessarily make me vote for Trump, but maybe, like, it sounds like we talk about conspiracy theorists and conspiracy theories, and people say, they don't know what the fuck they talking about, then some of that shit be true, and they be like, see, told you. So what if we found out that there was really, that's what was happening? Like, they was catching cats and your pets wasn't safe, and would you feel different about immigrants living next door to you then?
I mean, I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't doubt some shit because, I mean, if you here legally and you might have limited access to money, shit, I would do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I wouldn't just say that's far-fetched. I know one thing I seen somebody post where he said they were aborting babies at 9 months or some shit like that.
Yeah, he said after the baby born, they just kill them. They was like,
but then
there's no state where that's legal.
I did. Somebody shared the link to where they were in the courtroom testifying that if it's adverse, if it affects a woman's mental health adversely, even if she's 9 months into pregnancy, to terminate the pregnancy. I mean, motherfuckers forget that pregnancy.
He said after they were born.
After they born? Oh, I thought
Trump
they were
said
saying
no.
9
He
months.
said they're just killing little kids. Even they don't care. They just babies just died. Like Trump is this dude is maniacal. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying this. Yeah. You know, he said that, and the fact checker said no. Actually, there's no state where that's legal, and he didn't. He just kept talking. But I'm still stuck on. Are they eating our cats?
I don't.
First of all, are they selling us our cats? Because you go to some of these Asian restaurants and be like, "Let me get some so and so fried rice." What if they really serving up little Heathcliff with the fried rice to you, and you've been eating it for years? So that means you a cat eater too.
Hey, shit, as long as it's good and I ain't sick from it, shit.
Fuck it, sell it at Pick and Save. Fuck it, what you got on the grill, motherfucker?
They sell chicken feet.
Right, you eat chicken feet, so why not eat the cat? Right, put his ass on there, put some hot sauce on.
Hey, they feeding people crickets now. They adding it into our. I mean, like, you know, if we dig deep into shit like that, you remember Starbucks? Well, I don't want to say name shit, but I said the name. But you know, you remember they was getting into it because that red that they use to dye their shit was from that beetle.
Yeah.
And now they're allowed to they have allowed, like the FDA has allowed for cricket protein to be put in our food.
People have eaten insects. The pioneers who were heading west. I was in South Dakota. I ate grasshoppers. I ate bugs. They's in a little survival type store where you go in there and they got all the food. They're like, oh no, taste these. The grasshoppers roasted and salted. They was actually
people
good.
eat cats, dogs, horses.
Okay, well, so let's normalize eating the cat. Then who gonna be the first one to make some kitty cat dressing for Thanksgiving? I'm showing up at your house. When I see that shit, I'm fucking leaving.
What?
Motherfucking cat? Yeah, man. You know
what? Real shit.
Good.
Funny story. When I was a kid, right? I was about like 8 years old. I went somewhere with my auntie's husband, my uncle. Okay. And I was fucking up some shit I thought was some shoulder. And then somebody was like, how you like that coon, boy? Yeah. I said, coon? Raccoon. They had it hashed up and covered in barbecue sauce. Yeah. I'm like, well, shit, I love it now, I guess.
I'm gonna use a coon eater. You are a coon eater. Well,
I thought it was some shoulders.
Dion's corrected me. He said in Springfield, Ohio. I thought he said Illinois. Okay, Ohio is where they're eating the cats. But okay. EP in the building. He said, "Tell him, cuz what up, EP man? Eric Phillips, man. Both of my big brothers. I got my big brother on the couch right here, and I got my other two big brothers. Oh, it's going down. Outlaw Radio. What's going on? Yeah, that's some fly shit, as they say.
Type shit, yeah.
But no, on the real, listen, it's the American in me. It's me as a up north, upper bougie city nigger that I won't eat a cat. But I tell you what, let me be somewhere hungry and there's nothing else to eat, and I see little Dexter on the fence. I'm deep frying his ass too. So I'm saying that I wouldn't eat cat, whatever, because in America, see, there we go. That's that foundational Black American shit, because as Black people from America, we don't eat kitty cats. Now, if you went to Africa and you was like, what's in this? And they said, well, it's cats. You know what the fuck? We eat them all the time. They're farm raised. They're corn. You don't know if they got good corn fed cats and dogs in Japan, but we do know that they eat them. And so my question then turns to, because their community is thriving, but the cats ain't by my house. And there's a lot of them. Like this is a very strong, I lived like the Hmong American Peace Academy. They took the old Morris and put the whoop down on it. It looked like the fucking Fiserv Center with a soccer field now, right? And ain't no cats. This shit got me bugging. I'm gonna be sitting in my garage at night looking like, damn, it really ain't no cats out. I seen a raccoon, I seen a rat, I seen one cat, and he was like looking paranoid and shit, sitting in my yard like, look, I'm not trying to be racist, man. Mariah Johnson in the chat room, how you doing, cuz? Oh, how you doing, cousin? EP said, love you, bro. Yes, sir, man. It's all love, man. All love, man. My big homies. I dig. But yeah, man. So this debate, though, like, what did it prove? It proved what we already knew. And I don't care if you like her or not. It's obvious that she's more intelligent than Trump. He's not like really intelligent. He's more manipulative. He's more of a bully. He's very opinionated. He's not really intelligent. When he speaks, do you feel like this dude is really intelligent? Most of the time, I don't. We knew she could talk better than him. I'd like to ask her about the cat, though. Like, Kamala, did he have a point about the cat?
Shit.
Can we get an investigation on that? I'm on that shit right now. I want to know, is this a thing they're doing? Because, white people love dogs and cats. They love them more than they love us. So if this is going down, I can see why white people are upset with immigrants now. Like, they're fucking eating our cats. Like, he was confident when he said that shit. Man, the funny part is, as a result of this debate, Kamala, in the latest Marquette poll here in Milwaukee, she went up 4 points. And a lot of people were saying she just obliterated him in this debate. But was it really fair? Like, did we expect Trump to come and be somebody other than himself? Did we think he was going to show up with a lot of facts and be on point? And like, no, you knew what he was going to do. So did she really win? Did she really defeat him? I don't know. Do you feel better about voting for her now? I feel the same way. I still don't like him, but I like her less. I keep telling y'all, this is way more. I'm way more pro Kamala than I am pro Trump. Like what I don't like about her don't even measure up to what I don't like about him. So, and Paris always says policy over personality, but I don't know how you vote for somebody who has no personality. Ain't the personal appeal for voters? Shouldn't a leader make you like say, oh man, her personality is why people follow her or listen to him. If he's just bland as shit, you're like, man, we need a new manager, dog. Yeah, hi Darrell, your orders are today to go in room 6. You'd be mad as fuck. So, we have to have some personality.
I don't know, man. I don't get. I was raised in church, so I seen a lot of charismatic fools. You know what I'm saying? I seen a lot of charismatic motherfuckers that really didn't mean well. They just talk very well. So even with this debate, you got an old white frat boy businessman who got enough money to say what the fuck he thinks without or feels without thinking, and then you got somebody who dealt with law. Like almost like the dude that be on here. I love how he kind of spin around shit and tap dance around. Like I love how kind of like lawyers do that shit.
Wait, now hold on. Which one? Because we have a bunch of people on.
He was
they're a lawyer.
No, he was Tierman. Like
when you talking about when Tierman Spencer was the
like when he
city
say
attorney
shit,
and he used to come on here.
When he say shit, you know what he mean, but he can't really say what he mean because of the position he was in. So it's like, I like how he said that.
This is another
shout out to Tierman. He came to the store today too.
How you doing, man?
It's another example of black kayfabe.
That's good.
Because Spencer and I were cool.
Yeah.
So we spoke before he ever came on.
Okay.
So we already knew where the signs were, okay.
So he could navigate it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he tap danced. And I guess
not in a bad way.
But I was in on it. He wasn't like people won't ask him no. Nah, because me and Spence was cool. Like we went to breakfast and kicked it. Like we used to chop it up, man, on another level about the game. And so
he knew how to answer with he let you know what it was without saying what it was type shit to put his
what was his classic answer when you say something's not fair? He's saying nothing, it ain't nothing fair but stay fair. Is that what he was saying? Like he was like nothing fair but stay fair. I was like, what the fuck is he saying? That OG
I like what he was saying
with his shiny church shoes on, speaking in parables and shit. Well, not fly got to fly more than once. A frog need his ass more than to bump on the concrete. You like
so imagine Trump trying to talk against somebody who got finesse like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He gonna definitely look like an idiot against that finesse.
That's why I said, was it really fair? And did she? It was like, okay, it's like you're a boxer and you beating up on somebody with no arms. Like we already knew she was gonna be able to speak better than him. Like, and you already know that people who love Trump.
Did nobody tell that boxer with no arms to get in the ring either?
Well,
right.
He talked his way into it, Kamar. He said, your mouth got to check, your ass can't cash.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, he got that ring.
Hey, shit. Well,
but one thing I did notice is we still ain't heard nothing for black people from neither one of them.
Yeah, that's gonna always be until we get some kind of leverage.
I ain't saying that I was expecting to. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, according to history, this is what we get.
Which is totally left out of the conversation. Thank you. That's a great point. Because in our arguing about them and their individual characteristics, we've totally forgotten about the fact that neither one of them are offering us shit.
Right.
And the people who dwell on that can't get past that to say, well, come November, I got to either shit or get off the pot. And if you're not gonna vote, that's why I had to start vetting people. Like when people want to talk about this with me, if you're not gonna vote, I don't want to talk to you about it. Like if your whole intention the whole time was not to vote, what the fuck are we talking about?
Right.
Now, if you saying, Kev, I'm thinking about voting and I'm torn, what do you think? And you ask me because once you ask me what I think, sit back and relax. We're gonna be here for a while.
The issue is though with saying you not gonna vote or choosing not to vote, a lot of us automatically take that as a vote for Trump. I was told that not voting is a vote for Trump. It's like, okay,
is and it isn't.
And my thing is, even if not voting is a vote for Trump,
but it's not.
Right, I don't think it is,
but
it
is.
I would rather not vote than to vote for somebody that I don't feel within my conscience right to vote.
If you don't vote, right? If you don't vote, like you just said, that means you said I'm not voting for Trump, correct?
Right.
And you said I'm not voting for Kamala, correct?
Right.
So I'm not gonna vote at all. That automatically puts you in a different category.
They like, well, that's an automatic vote for Trump. No,
but you are voting for Trump because you didn't vote for
her.
But you're voting for her too because you didn't vote for Trump. You see what I'm saying?
It's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of perspective. It's a matter of perspective. Like, which side are you on, right? Because see, it could be a vote for Kamala.
That's what I just said.
That's how you looking at it. It could be a vote for either or.
It is and it ain't. It is a vote for Trump, but it's not a vote for Trump. That's what I just said.
Hey, it's a vote for Kamala, but it ain't a vote for Kamala.
There you go. This reminds me of
a lot of people don't see it that way though,
because a lot of people can't see. That's their problem.
They emotions, man. They emotions just be blindsiding.
I do my best. Look, I've established a route as an older man. I've kind of tried to put this path in front of me to say, I don't really trip about shit I don't give a fuck about. Right? Like, so if I don't like something, some place, some food, some fit, some shoe, some show, I don't fuck with it and I don't trip off of it. I don't let it get to me because I don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck I don't care who you vote for. So if you tell me and then I say, well, I don't agree, and you get in your feelings, I'm just gonna move around. I'm gonna leave you stand there talking to yourself because I don't give a fuck anyways. I don't care. I'm serious. I don't care who you vote for. I would hope that you vote. That's my only, and that's a hope. Because we know a lot of people are just, we don't even trust the political system. We're disillusioned, and with rightfully so, because ain't nobody been fucked over in this country like foundational Black Americans. We have been, when they say screwed the kitty, if there ain't no Asians around, we know they ain't gonna screw it, they gonna cook it. My brother got me on that bullshit. I'm about to have the Asian league after me. But I can't stop hearing it. Now every time I drive down the street, I'll be like, where the fuck is the cats? And I'm thinking I might go get some kittens and just let them loose in the neighborhood and see how many of them survive until the spring.
Like the Hunger Games? Like you just
what's going on, man? Mama Jenkins in the chat room. How you doing, Mama Jenkins? She said, good evening, my Outlaw family. She said, now most of us know Trump is a straight up idiot and don't give a flying fuck about shit. This motherfucker got these stupid niggers lined up like they waiting for free cheese. Once again, just go vote or get your ass ready for Project 2025. About no one. She said, up fool, no one up fool, and don't. I don't know. She lost me at the end. Y'all know how these characters get. Mama Jenkins, I hear you. Get ready for it. He walks in the chat room. He says, I'm not a fan of Kamala, but anyone but Trump ass. I hate that motherfucker, so my vote is definitely going against him. That's how passionate we get. We talked about Sexy Red the other night. He opened up on her. Funky ass, stanky ass bitch. Funky pussy. I was like, damn. Do you know her?
For Sexy Red?
You wasn't here the other night.
No, what she do to E?
It was hilarious. I would tell y'all, and I apologize because my audio was jacked up. Because I bought a bogus camera off Amazon trying to save some money. Let me get myself money. And camera was garbage, man. I've never had worse video on my show. That's like I was tempted to take it down, but it was straight. I was working with it, so I was getting it a little clearer, man. But it was shitty. It was fucked up. It was. But yeah, on that show we talked about Sexy Red, because I think Sexy Red gets a bad rap, and I feel like people are putting too much into the hate on her because you wasn't here, Rail. So I've made a pact that moving forward, I will never put another black person down.
Okay, yeah.
I will disagree with them.
Really?
I will disagree with them, but I won't put them down.
Yeah.
I won't call them a name. I won't like, for real. Like if I disagree with you, we can still have but I'm not gonna be on here like punk ass, bitch ass, dumb ass, hoe ass, mog ass. Like it's not in my spirit to speak down on another person of color unless they shoot that my way.
Yeah.
Then the Capitol Drive in me comes out. Right. And so we go back to that. But moving forward, so when I talked about, I was giving Sexy Red an objective look as a young lady who, believe it or not, and whether people want to admit it or not, she mirrors the young ladies we see in our community.
Yeah.
A lot of the women in our community are looking, dressing, acting, speaking, moving just like her. Hers has just got a beat to it. Now, there's the great question. Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art? I think it's a little bit both. So I can't put her, oh, she's the worst thing that ever happened to the whole black community. I feel like she's a young lady who, and if we see her making missteps, you got cats like Jay-Z, right? Who been in the game 35 years, billionaire. You think he don't have the clout to pull her in and say, listen, young sis, let's make sure you straight in the long run.
And these young motherfuckers don't want to listen.
Gonna burn out. Huh?
I said, these young motherfuckers don't want to listen to nothing. We talk about that all the time. You can't talk to them. A lot of black women can't accept constructive criticism.
Ooh. Black women indictment. He said black women can't accept constructive criticism.
I said a lot of black women. I didn't say all black women.
I was gonna throw you out there like, ladies, Kamar just said y'all ain't shit.
But you know, like you see it all the time though. Like I'll be watching them on YouTube. I'll be watching them cop shows and I'll be pulling people over and shit. It's always the young black girls that get irate as a motherfucker, like you can't tell them shit. You know what I'm saying? We see it there, and then we see it even in the community when we talk, like black men talking about what they don't like. Eyelashes, hair. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to wear. I do what I want to do. I go where I want. Ain't no boss. Ain't nobody lead me.
But hold on, come on.
You can't tell that girl nothing. Sexy Red, she fit that mold that you can't tell.
I don't know her personally, but I would like to believe that there's someone around her or close to her that would tell her, if Jay-Z said, I'd like to meet with you, I would hope somebody around her would say, no, fuck all that hood shit. Go sit down with this cat. This man can give you the keys to the kingdom, so this won't be you had a good summer and then next year you was on OnlyFans. Shout out to OnlyFans. I love OnlyFans. Just made $6.6 billion last year. 6.6 billion. We're gonna talk about that. We'll get to it, but I'm just saying.
What's the girl named Suki Hana? Remember she did the red carpet shit, and then they tried to talk to her and get on her case. Like I say, it's a mold of this black woman. It's a black woman mold that you can't tell shit. You know what I mean? And they both in that same category.
I got a question to counter that I got in my talking points that I was
took off on a lot of women.
Show, when we talk about black women is how much have black men changed? Because what I get right now is that men now are soft and compromised and mentally weak and sensitive and overly emotional. You see women saying men now ain't like men used to be. So if they're lacking for accountability, if you can't talk to them, you can't reason with them, then ain't that a reflection of us? Because it's our job to kind of make sure that they are regulated in that fashion, ain't it? I mean, like you said, depending on your perspective.
Tell me about it.
Huh?
Yeah, a woman without a man can't tell me nothing.
A woman
without a man. A single woman ain't finna tell me shit. That's usually who always doing the talk.
Okay. What about the ones who aren't single, though?
Where do they speak?
They speak a lot. Like they give advice. Like, okay, this probably ain't a good example, but I'm gonna use it anyways because fuck it. Niecy Nash wrote a book called How to Keep Your Husband Happy or some shit to that effect, right? And she talked about it in this book where never go to sleep naked or something. She said every time they get into it, she take her clothes off. They get to arguing, she take her clothes off. Oh shit, it's all good. We fixed. She wrote this book and she was married at the time. And it's her second or third marriage. I don't know. A year and a half later,
she can't tell nobody how to keep it.
A year and a half later, she divorces him and marries a woman, and now she lives with a woman.
See what I'm saying?
So no, but I'm saying there are women who have husbands who write these books.
Yeah, but look at her. How she gonna tell a motherfucker how to keep a man? Look at how it went.
Well, she ain't saying it now.
I'm just saying. So how can you listen? You know what I mean? Like, look how it went. Obviously the men wasn't the problem. It was her.
A lot of women who are in relationships give other women advice on like, no, this is how you should act with your man, and this is how your man. Like they give the women definitions of masculinity. Like, this is what your man should be. This is how he should live. Like, because this is what my man do for me. And I don't want to get on black women too hard, but
to me, it's usually a single woman telling men how they supposed to be to fit what they want.
Or telling other women how it should be. And she ain't got no man. That is very common. That is very common. Mama Jenkins said these motherfuckers just blocked me. They blocked her. Yeah, because Mama Jenkins, you be snapping. So the regulators regulating the chat room, right? Dion, the phone is working. I just missed your call. That's on me. I looked down. I was talking my shit. I looked down and seen I had missed it. Dion says, Mama Jenkins, you got to go on YouTube and watch the show, and you don't get those kind of blockages that you get. Ewok said, I can't help it. I be saying shit when he was talking about Sexy Red. My whole point with that was I just felt like we should start trying to be more helpful than harmful. So if we're OGs in the game and we see these young ladies behaving a certain way, we should still be like, well, I'm willing to talk to you and help you if you open to it. Now, if they say, fuck you, there's nothing you can do, like Kamar said. But I do think there's entertainers right now who have enough status to be able to pull somebody like her and say, sit down, let us show you this shit, right? And I think she'd listen, but who knows? Maybe she wouldn't. Go ahead.
Somebody may have tried. The way motherfuckers be on her, I feel like somebody may have tried already. But that's the way she listened, but that's the way she make her money. You know what I mean? So why would she change if she done found the way to get paid? Why would she change? Why would she listen to anybody? Because that's gonna stop her money.
But nah, because if it's somebody who can put you in rooms that you haven't been in. No, because hold on. You can't dismiss that. So if she was to sign with Rock Nation, right? And this is an example. Now she's in a different level. So even the places, her locations, like she just had her tour get canceled. She just had her show get canceled here in Milwaukee. If she's with somebody like that or a company that's official like that, her shows won't get canceled because they'll have enough people on there with her so that even if you ain't coming to see her, you're going to come see those other people. The way they do business is different. That's my point. Like their marketing, how they build your image. She wouldn't be like she is now. And if she chose to say to them, fuck y'all, I ain't listening, like I said, to OnlyFans you go, because it's going to be over in a year.
They signed her for.
Say that
That's
again?
what she got signed for, to do that. To do what she doing. So why would she change again?
Because if it's more money to get on a bigger level, you are supposed to make that adjustment. That's called being a business.
Yeah, you're supposed to, but I mean, you got to think about where she at, where her mindset is.
I don't know her personally, so I don't know where her mindset is, and people can fake it till they make it. Hell, Milli Vanilli lip sync.
You don't know, man. We see how she acting. We know where her mindset. We see how she act. We know where her mindset is.
You see how she act on camera.
Yeah,
I don't know
how you act. That's what tell us. Look, how you act is how we know who you are.
If you're an entertainer,
like, I wouldn't be talking about her if she didn't act like that on camera.
Yeah, but that still
wouldn't nobody be on her case.
So there's no separation between who she is off camera and on camera. I think she deserved the right to have. She could be playing a character, and I don't know this. I don't know her, so I can't.
You're right. She does deserve it. You're right. She does deserve it. But unfortunately, that ain't the way society works.
It works like that all the time. That's why you see people living one life on
Okay,
camera and
we're gonna
living a
see
different
how.
one
Let's watch and
behind
see
the
how her
scenes.
career tumble.
I will see, and it might rise. You never know what could happen.
It won't. It won't.
Okay, that's your
Ain't nobody
prediction.
even buying her concert tickets. Why would it?
But she still got streams, so she's still getting money from
That's
that.
where the musicians make their money in their shows. You get streams, but shit, you know how many streams you got to get some money?
She has a lot, but the thing is they own way more. Their business deals are different from the old school record contracts. Now these motherfuckers get revenue from a bunch of different places. So I'm not in her pocket. I'm not counting her money. I don't know her personally. All I'm saying, she's an entertainer, and I take her as such. Just like when I hear a dude talking all this gangster shit, most of the time I'm like, well, he's an entertainer. That's not really him behind. Like when he's not in front of the camera, he might be. Ewok says if she stopped talking nasty, she lose her audience. She ain't talented. Well, there's a way to talk nasty though. Like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When you get around better handlers and there's more money on the line, they'll say, no, we're gonna do this differently. We're gonna do this. And you
Her handlers is handling her to do what she's doing.
The one she
You
got
keep
right now,
forgetting that. She getting
she can
paid to
fire
do what she
everybody and
doing.
hire a whole new staff and have a whole new image
Man,
tomorrow.
come on, man.
It
Let's
happens
be
all the
realistic.
time in the music industry.
I think that would be
Let's
more
be
so
realistic.
if she was in control of her image. Like have you ever seen her managers? Like it was a meme showing the two white dudes
Right.
that manage her. You know what I'm saying? So
Let's be realistic, man.
I think
what are you saying? So you're saying no artist has ever scrapped their image and reinvented themselves and can't? There's porn stars who
I'm not
became
saying that.
mainstream
I'm not
film
saying
stars.
that. I'm not saying no
So
rappers that
if you
have.
get the
No,
right
I'm not saying
staff
no
and you
rap.
get the right people, you can change that all around.
It's not going to
entertainment.
happen here.
You can't say that. How you got her counted out already?
You can't say it will. Hey, and you can't say it will.
All right, man.
All I can say is what I see, what I feel like works. Like all the rappers that made it over the years, it ain't now.
I'm starting to see more pictures of Suki with Dr. Omar, and she looked like she dressed more sensible and stuff like that.
Bro, you looking at old pictures? She ain't got nothing with Umar now, do she?
She did, yeah.
I know there was one point when, I seen when she.
Oh no, that was old. This is like a new one.
Oh, it's a new one. Okay,
yeah, they got a few pictures. So, and every time I see her with him, she seems like she dressed. Well, I ain't gonna say appropriate, but she's more covered. So, I mean, I guess it all depends on. I mean, I think what might be Sexy Red saving grace is if her products take off. Because if she got another stream of income, where you don't have to. I mean, I think me personally, and this is just my personal opinion, I believe her success came from hood rats being able to see their representation on
turn
TV.
your radio down.
Yeah.
And then also a white demographic who enjoys seeing black women. Like when I took a class called Blacks in Media, and it breaks down the different black characters characters that black people get. Like you got the coon, the Jezebel, the mammy. The Jezebel justified sexual abuse of slaves and stuff because it's like, okay, she walking around here with her titties out and stuff, so she must have wanted it. So I think she gives representation to the thoughts that was already acting like her, but then she's comfortable for the other or white demographic because it plays into the stereotype and caricature of the Jezebel.
Okay, I get it. And the hyperactive, sexually
hypersexual,
with black women and black men, Mandingo, and because
exactly,
we're always you look at us like that. So
Sambo,
what else were they good for, right? What else were we good for? Dion's on the line. Dion, what's popping, man?
Man, what's happening, my black brothers?
Peace.
Can y'all hear Dion? Can y'all hear Dion?
Hey, check it out, though. Check it out. Now, this is what I see. When I see Sexy Red at the concert, them motherfuckers be sold out. I see motherfuckers partying, holding the phone up. Like that's why the other day we all was talking about that. I'm like, maybe in certain, and that happens to a lot of people. Kevin Hart, it don't make no difference. Like if it's certain venues that ain't selling tickets, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers they cancel that shit. Like, okay.
Well, she shouldn't have been trying to come. She shouldn't have been trying to come to the Fiserv anyway. She should have went to the rave.
Milwaukee ain't no place where, I mean, in regard, like, bro, I've been to concerts where it was star-studded, my nigga. When I first got out of prison, I didn't know nothing about T.I., Jeezy. Man, I went to a concert, nigga, at the Mecca where it had T.I., Jeezy, Plies, Shorty Low, Keisha Cole. You would think that motherfucker be, man, it was so motherfucking, so many holes up in that motherfucker that they told everybody to come down to the stage because there wasn't that many people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's just like, say for instance, like Michael Epps about to come here in a couple weeks to the Milwaukee Improv. Now Mike Epps could sell out the Pfizer Forum, all that shit, but no, he can't sell out the Forum. But I've seen Mike Epps at the Pabst Theater down there. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, when I see the young lady every time on Instagram or whatever, I see her doing her little thing, you know, them motherfuckers cracking like a motherfucker.
Dion,
you know what I'm saying?
I think what you see now is because the business of music has changed. Because one thing we haven't spoken on is now they have 360 deals. And so they sign these 360 deals where they're performing at music festivals. So she might have a set at a musical festival where they got 30 artists and it is jam-packed. It's a huge crowd. So you look at that, you think, oh, she can sell out the Fiserv. Well, not by herself. That's why I said. That's why I said if she was with somebody like Rock Nation, it would have been like 5 or 6 other big names that would have been a draw. But see, it's levels to the shit. As long as you, if them 2 white dudes, that meme that we talked about, if that was really her managers, I'm hard pressed to think they give a fuck about her. Like,
and she's product. She product to use until she burn out, and then they catch the next one.
Right. Whereas
that's usually how hip hop go. They use a motherfucker up and spit them right out.
But if you get with the right team, then there's longevity to your career because you have it's business. But that's why some last and some don't.
I think if she was with the right team, she'd have came out. I think if she was with the right team, she'd have came out right correct.
I think that's my point. I think she's with the right team. Obviously, she's not selling out. She's missing shows. Her tour got canceled.
She ain't got to make no album. All she got to do is keep making one-hit wonders. Bro, that's all.
Albums don't sell no more.
Yeah, that's just like me and my girl the other day. We were talking about Glorilla. And I don't know if y'all remember, she came out with that first song, Fuck Nigga Free. Nigga, she had 3 other motherfucking hits besides that. You know, and I sing them, like, I'll be listening, like, I'll be saying some shit, and I'll tell my girl, like, listen to this shit, and she be like, I don't want to hear Gorilla, this, that, and other, them little bitches. And then next thing you know, she like, it's 7 p.m. Friday, it's 95 degrees, I ain't got, well, that shit be rocking on my mama.
She's another one of these artists that let me know I'm too old for a lot of shit right now because I don't get it. I don't get her appeal. I don't like her style. I don't like her voice.
I like her.
I mean, she's a pretty young lady, but her music, I'm like, this is trash.
I like how she raps. She raps like Project Pat to me. That's what she reminds me of.
I was never a fan of that style. Okay, so I was.
Oh my God!
Y'all talking about Glorilla? Y'all talking about Glorilla?
No. I was never a fan. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth.
She rap like a nigga.
She does. She has a very masculine, like,
masculine is a motherfucker.
I don't.
Masculine is a motherfucker, right? Man.
So, hold on. 3 6 Mafia.
Project.
I wasn't the biggest fan of 3 6 Mafia and their sound and their style to me. Now, this is based on back in the days.
Oh my God!
In their music, they used to talk about a lot of devil worshiping and tooting cane and. I'm never bringing that into my sphere, right? And I didn't like the style because I thought it was redundant and repetitive. Now, they did catch me with Hard Out Here for a Pimp and Popping My Collar and International Players Anthem by UGK, but I wasn't really, I used to be like, I don't listen to that. So I'm not a fan of her style as the result of
those songs were decent, but those were like more of a commercial side. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, man, shit, Hypnotize Mind, man. Like Juicy J used to make the hell out some beats, man. And then, like, I used to listen to Kingpin, Skinny Pimp back in the day. Like, I used to fuck with that Memphis sound a lot.
That was after my era. To me, Memphis sound is 8-Ball and MJG. Like, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm old as dirt though. And real. And here's the other argument. Here's the other thing with that is we see this argument about Lil Wayne, right? And Kendrick Lamar, who is now they said he's gonna do the Super Bowl, right? And so people are talking about Lil Wayne should have been the one, and people are mad. He's from New Orleans. The Super Bowl is going to be in New Orleans. First of all, shout out to Jeff Crape in the chat room. He said, "What up, Outlaw fam?" Jeff is hood. He's speaking to EP. He said, "What up, Eric Phillips?" Yes, sir. And people said, "Wayne is this?" I was never a Lil Wayne fan, right? Like I don't put like people have all this reverence for him, and it has to be a generational thing. Because I'm not saying he can't rap. He had some clever bops, but I never put him when he was I'm the greatest rapper alive and all this shit. I'm like, wait, Scarface still alive. Rakim is still alive. What are we talking about? Cube is still alive. So once again, I'm an old nigga. What them young boys call us old heads, but I don't have that much reverence for Lil Wayne. I kind of, I'm just now in 2024 listening to Get Rich or Die Trying. Because I didn't like it back in the days. I thought the album was garbage. And then I heard Many Men, and I was like, it's okay. But so people had all this reverence for 50, and I used to be like, I don't
That's
feel
the
like
song that made you say he was okay.
Many Men. And the other one, what up, cuz? What up, blood? That one I was like, okay, that's a
different.
Yeah.
I know how you niggas felt. I know you making me feel how you niggas felt the other night when I said I didn't like Martin. Nigga, when that 50 Cent first came out, I listened to it from front to back on my man.
So I think the problem was
when that's a classic album.
People say that. I've never people say that. I've never felt that way.
You know what? Not to me. I listened to the album. Like real shit, I've always been the Outlaw when it came to music because I listened to the album, but that was just because of the songs that featured Lloyd Banks and Eminem. Okay. But just like with Jay-Z, I've never listened to a Jay-Z album for Jay-Z. I listened to it for his features.
Except for Reasonable Doubt. You can't listen to, if you listening to Reasonable Doubt, you listening for Jay-Z.
And the Hard Knock Alike.
I listen for the features and his music selection. Like whoever selects his music, select good music. And his features, I like Freeway, I like Beanie Siegel.
What'd you say, Kamar?
When Rockefeller was on one, when they was on their ride, that's when I was in the clubs a lot.
Yeah.
So for me, you know what I mean? That era of Jay-Z music, it fit. It worked for me. That's what was popping in the clubs, you know what I'm saying? So I was on it. I could dig it. Like that Blackout album. I thought that was dope as shit. You know what I mean? I feel like with Jay-Z's career, he was one of them rappers that reinvented themselves.
But so the Super Bowl is in New Orleans, and they said that the city of New Orleans has appointed Master P, the entertainment czar for the Super Bowl. I'm gonna go to but I think No Limit was trash. No Limit and Cash Money. Listen. No Limit and Cash Money are two of the worst hip hop eras ever.
Damn.
I will give No Limit a little bit more credit because there was Make Him Say and there was Mystical and there was Young Bleak and there was, but those No Limit albums were garbage. And those Big Timers, the Cash Money, that shit was garbage.
Hold on now.
Big Timers was
garbage. The lyrics was garbage. They talking about rims and earrings and watches and shit for like 2 hours. This shit wears me out. This shit was garbage. Manny Fresh. Let me give Manny Fresh his props because Manny Fresh was dope. Lil Wayne was overrated, and then he got weird and did all kinds of drugs and passed out and went in and had strokes. So I don't put him on my top 30. He's not even in my top 30.
Top 30.
Wow.
That was that stunner era. That's what everybody was.
It was bullshit. It was bullshit. It was garbage. All the music was garbage.
Oh my God.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes,
sir. So what did you listen to between like 96 and 2000? I know you just didn't listen to Outkast and Pimp C.
Listen, well, hold on. Don't say you know something because I was listening to UGK and 96 to 2000. UGK, anything Rap a Lot. I was still on 96. We still on Tupac. All Eyes on Me. The West Coast. Too Short. E40. We A-Ball and MJG. 96 to 2000. We classic music. What do you? It's so many albums and Outkast was in there. Goody Mob was in there.
Big Timers is classic. That is classic to us.
R. Kelly made better music than Lil Wayne did, and he wasn't even a rapper. And I'm just saying. But I know I listen. And you know who else I listened to? You know what else I was on between 96 and 2000? Country Boy Click and Baby Drew at the crib. Yeah, that was heavy in rotation. South Circle, Mr. Mike. Come on, man. What, the 96 to 2000? That was the best era. Because once Tupac got killed, then it was like garbage, trash, garbage, trash. Ja Rule became the man. I'm riding around like this is the dude now. Ja Rule, I'm gonna do it on my baby. Come on, man, that shit was hot
Ja
garbage.
Rule was trash. But you know what?
All that shit was. Eminem was overrated. He was overrated too. He still is. He just made an album. How many of y'all bought it? Who got the new Eminem album? And they said it's up for album of the year. Come on, man. Let me catch my chat room, man. Let me catch my chat room. I'm gonna let everybody talk because I'm on down this island by myself. Shout out to Terrence LSC Webb. What up, cuzzo? He said, I'm loving this. Jeff Crape said, Face, Rakim, Cube, UGK, A-Ball, and MJG, Outkast, all I need on a deserted island. He said, facts, KB, all volume, no quality. I'm trying to tell you, EP saying, right. Joey Phillips saying, big facts. That shit, that Cash Money, No Limit shit was trash. It was garbage.
Yeah,
that shit was like fast food. That was like McDonald's hip hop. That was like McDonald's, the McDonald's of hip hop. It was like, you don't want to eat that shit. It ain't good for you.
You don't want
niggas. You know why every motherfucker got dreads right now? Because of Lil Wayne.
That's not true at all. I'm gonna tell you, no, that's not true.
When I got out of prison in 2000, when I went to,
you missed a lot because you was in prison. So there was a lot of people who had dreads before Lil Wayne. So you missed a lot.
Let me finish, Ken. When I went to prison in 2004, then too many niggas had dreads. When I got out of 2007, everybody and their motherfucking mama had dreads. I'm like, damn, dreads back in the days, if you had dreads, you was a nasty Rastafarian.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. That's not true at all because, hold on, Dion, because in the South, in Florida, Alabama, Texas, way back in the early 90s, they had dreads. When I met dudes from Miami in 1993, almost every last one of them had dreads and a gold grill. Yeah, so they've been wearing dreads in the South.
Or even the East Coast. A lot of conscious brothers, like what's it?
Right. A lot of
Buster had dreads. Is what leaders of the new
most of the East Coast dudes had dreads, right? Das Effects
and
right, everybody did, right? Oh, Lil Wayne didn't start that shit, so we're not gonna give him credit. He started overdosing on lean. That's what he started.
When we looked at those rappers back then with dreads, we just disregarded some of them. You know what I'm saying? Like
you did. I listened to Brand Nubians. I listened to
X-Clan. You know, when I got out in 2007, I see every motherfucker damn near with dreads. If it weren't for Cash Money and No Limit, niggas wouldn't have goals in their mouth.
Stop it. I had a gold tooth in my mouth. Listen, my mother had a gold tooth put in my mouth in 1989 in the dentist. It was permanent. What do you mean no? Black people been wearing gold teeth in the South. Come on. You knew me for 30 years. Didn't I have a big ass gold tooth in my mouth when you met me? Come on, man. Ain't start that shit.
Yeah. Hey, also what I also know about gold teeth is that was a down south thing. If you was from the South, a lot of people from the South wore gold teeth. As long as I can remember, when I was growing up as a kid.
I'm talking about the South, though. I'm not talking about the South. We talking about Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about Chicago. I ain't talking about Gary.
Well, shit, I was in Milwaukee. Yeah.
I'm talking about Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and when Cash Money and Master P.
Nigga, I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Every motherfucker I damn near knew when they got goals in their mouth. Yeah, you might have had a motherfucker that had a gold, one gold here, one gold there, because I guess they was from down south, and that was the way that you replaced.
Well, I had partners. Dion, what I'm telling you is I had partners way back in the 90s who had grills. Like
in the South, they looked at that. They looked at that. Like, it's like a status. That was like a status. You had money if you got more gold. That was a status type of thing. Down south.
A cousin who went so far, he had a gold tooth with a diamond in it.
Hey.
We were super Mississippi. Jeff Crape in the chat room said Suave House was better than No Limit. Of course it was. Not even close.
They made music together.
Okay.
They made music together.
Only Draper was okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was
Look,
okay.
Lil Wayne couldn't hold MJG's jock strap.
He's a No Limit soldier, but
he's not even on the same level.
Suave House smashed No Limit, and you could just look at the music. How often do you hear it these days? You know what I'm saying? Like the test of time. That's how you really tell good music. Like, do it stand the test of time?
I think I had like a Suave House compilation that had No Limit on the
Yeah, they did a song.
Yeah, now, don't get me wrong. Hey, don't get me wrong. I can hear some No Limit shit now and still be like, yeah, that's bumping.
Because we both said, don't get me wrong.
That's because y'all talking over each other. Listen.
But we both said, don't get me wrong.
I know. Y'all related, right? Y'all partners. Y'all connected. Ewok says the NFL is an entity. The rap industry can't fuck with those 32 billionaires. Cry them a river. Jay really ain't calling all the shots y'all think he is, which is very true. But once again, I think this is one of the things where you really got to ask yourself, do I really give a fuck who's performing at the Super Bowl? Because I don't even watch the halftime show most of the time. Matter of fact, if the Packers ain't in the shit, I'm gonna skim through it anyways. I'm probably gonna watch the highlights on sports. I've been watching football my whole life. And I'm seeing more football than the average person has.
I used to just watch the shit for the commercials. Like I'm not a sports person.
There you go. I mean, it's for you to say that right now after the first game. Stick around these parts. Jermaine Anderson said hello from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Woo!
Jeff Crape said Rap-A-Lot is better than Suave House. Suave House is better than everybody, and everybody is better than No Limit.
Who is on Rap-A-Lot though?
Well, who was on Rap-A-Lot?
Rap-A-Lot, Do or Die.
The name shit, all they did was fake.
Big Mello, Odd Squad, Devin the Dude.
Wasn't Big Mello?
Do or Die. You never heard of Do or Die?
Do or Die did one album.
No, they did three.
They did like 2 or 3.
But they classics. Motherfuckers know.
What about Scarface Solo and the Ghetto Boys? We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna go.
Yeah, Scarface carry. They carry Rap-A-Lot, but Rap-A-Lot yeah, bum ass artist.
Okay. Go ahead, Kamar. I told y'all my new mantra is don't get upset.
No, I was just naming people who was on Rap-A-Lot.
Oh, okay. Well, I was a rapper. I know so many Rap-A-Lot artists that he might not even know of. That's why it's like it would be no good for me to say them to him because he don't know them. So he'd be like, they were bullshit. They were bum.
I had that Jay Prince presents
the
niggas down south compilation.
Let me catch my chat room. Mariah said not true about the locks. It's deeper than just now. Okay, so she's agreeing with me. She said, go from the South. This is my cousin. She also has the same background I have. We was raised by some old Southern people. She said, I have 8.
For her mom too?
No. She does.
Okay.
No.
Right.
That's my younger cousin. Okay. She said, I have an 8-ball MJG playlist to this day. EP said, and you've been playing football. Yeah, I've seen a lot and I played a lot, right? So that's why I'm saying with the Super Bowl, if the Packers ain't in it, I'm see the highlights, man. Spare me the gory details. Like I might watch the beginning of it, but like I said, if the Pack ain't in it, I'm usually like, fuck this. I'll watch something else. Jeff says Phase 3-2, Big Mello, Seagram, Odd Squad, Ghetto Boys, Fifth Ward Boys, and DMG. Damn. That's a Rap-A-Lot roster right there. That's a Rap-A-Lot roster. Today is also September 11th. Okay, September 11th.
Let's forget about it.
September 11th, we can't because September 11th is one of those days.
We got to get over it. We got to get over it.
You about to get muted. You about to get muted. You about to get muted, Dion. You about to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You about to get muted. September 11th is one of those days where you remember where you were when you heard the news. It's like the space shuttle blowing up when I was in the 4th grade. You remember where you were when you heard the news. Even with Nipsey Hussle, you remember where you were. With Tupac, I remember where I was when I heard that he had died in the hospital. People talk about September 11th and say that this was contrived and this was a conspiracy and that this was all engineered, and there's all kinds of theories about it. There's all kinds of questions for me, even when I seen it in real time. I remember turning in my classroom because I was teaching at Burroughs Middle School, turning on the television, looking at it. and one tower had already been hit. But then you see another airplane come in, but as soon as it hits one side, the explosion goes out the other side of the building. So I always was like, wait a minute, what? And then the buildings fell.
Vertically.
The most crazy thing when you sit there, you say, oh man, they just crashed into the building with some airplanes, and then they both just fell. It's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Today is the commemorative day, and people lost their families in this. So whether it was engineered or contrived or whatever, it was still an American tragedy. Now, I'm not dwelling on it because I know Dion saying we can't talk about it. I'm not going to bring up 9/11 every time something happened with an Arab. Right? I'm not, man, in September 11th, fuck you, Arab. I'm not dwelling on it. It happened. I recognized it. I have moved on. We've all moved on. You don't have no choice but to move on. But today is September 11th. That's the reason why I brought it up. It's 9/11. And so anytime it's a great loss of life like that, but it was so much hokey pokey, finoki dokey shit going on because there were two other planes that allegedly had been hijacked, and one crashed into the Pentagon. It actually hit its target. And the other one, they said the people went to fighting and it crashed in a field in Pittsburgh. But what I vividly remember when it first happened is George Bush on the television saying, I've scrambled U.S. Air Force jets already. So that means they were given the clearance to shoot down any motherfucking thing. So I always felt like them people didn't put up as big a fight. I feel like the Air Force shot the motherfuckers down, got back up in the clouds, and got up out of there. So that's my conspiracy part of that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who's commemorating this. If I am, fucking. Anybody remember where they were? Any significant moment when 9/11 happened? Real, tell me where you was at. Where'd you in? 5th grade?
I actually was walking through the UWM Student Union.
Okay.
Headed to art class, and I seen motherfuckers standing around looking at the TVs in the union, and then I seen the other plane hit, and I had just told my boy because we had graduated the May before that. This was September, so I had just got into college. I told my boy who was saying he was going to the military. He like, man, I'm about to go into the military to be a dentist. He's like, they're gonna pay for my school. I'm like, nigga, you know, every so often they drum up a war. I said, and we right around wartime, and your ass about to live. He like, man, we gonna be all good. He was like, to go for it happened in years. And sure as shit, September 11th happened. He was sitting in the student union too. I said, hey dog, when you guys ship out? And he did ship out. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
a lot of people, that was the result because Bush went cowboy. Remember, Bush jumped out the airplane and parachuted down on the aircraft carrier.
Oh my God.
He was in press conferences with cowboy hats and shit. A lot of people who was just getting that reserve check found their ass in Cambodia.
Yeah. Pulling a kick dough on them Afghani poppy fields, and then the opioid epidemic come.
Kamar, where was you at? Because I know me and you the same age, so I know we was already fully grown.
I was hungover, right? Hungover. Doe called me and woke me up. My cousin Doe called me and woke me up like, nigga, we at war. It's going down, nigga. Planes is crashing and all kind of shit, nigga. Turn the TV on.
And people was just rushing to gas stations because they thought like, and I was thinking like, wait, they got like 3 tons of gas underground. I think I'm gonna stay away from the gas station. What if they set that shit off? Like it was wild. Courtney, where was you at on 9/11?
I was in 8th grade. You know,
and she was in the 8th.
I was the young person. I was in 8th grade. You know, we all. Why am I getting whoa?
That's on me for being so damn old. Because she said I was teaching 8th grade. She said she was in 8th grade.
That was me.
Right.
But yeah, I remember all the teachers.
Baby.
The teacher just staring. We didn't have no class. Goddamn, because all the teachers watching TV. So you know, in 8th grade, niggas cracking jokes and shit. I can see the smoke from here. All that type of shit. We didn't really know. So we not really feeling no type of way. But the teachers, they all devastated and shit. So yeah,
it's just like it's a moment like OJ. We remember where we were when they said not guilty to OJ. I was in North Dakota in the student center. And we got in trouble because brothers went to butterflying and shit and pop locking and then sea walking and shit. White people was pissed. They went to our coaches immediately like, God damn it. OJ got off. They was pissed. We got to practice. Our coaches is like, we need to talk to all y'all.
Mm.
Motherfuckers was in there high fiving and shit, doing the kid and play. White people was mad as hell. Let me get. I want to keep up with the chat room because people be on me like I said that shit 45 minutes ago.
45.
Jeff Crape said Big Mike. Shout out to Big Mike who is on this show. Great interview, by the way. I always try to put it up every now and then. One of the dopest ever. It's unfortunate what happened with his career, but he was on Rap A Lot as well. So yeah, Rap A Lot had a run where everything they was touching was out the park. Mariah said, my mother-in-law was given 6 months to live on 9/11. My brother-in-law's son was shot to death. Oh, not damn, cuz. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. And you didn't live that far from me. Jeff Crape said, I worked with metals for 30 years and I can explain structure, steel, and temp, and then we can talk flat earth. Oh, shit.
That's right, Jeff.
I've said for a long time that the people who really want you to think the earth is round is people who sell globes. So it might be flat. Yeah, that's who really wants you to think the earth is round, right? So who knows? Maybe it is flat. I don't know. I don't disagree. Mariah said, I was at home cooking dinner before my ex-husband got off work. He did. Bush went wow. He went wow. EP said, I was just about to take my kids to school till my young son said, Dad, did you see this? Yeah, kids be like, Dad, I don't think I'm going to school. So there wasn't no school that day. I remember being at Phillips School when the space shuttle exploded. I know we digressed about the show, but it is what it is. My teacher had my teacher, Miss Allen, I'll never forget. She had a breakdown. Like she lost it. Like, oh my God. Like she ran out the room. We was all like, damn.
Dang.
Damn.
Yeah, how old is you? 48?
Yeah, because and see, check this out.
Oh, okay.
So what we used to do back then was when they would launch the space shuttle or a rocket, we watched it in class. It's like that was a big deal. Oh, they launched the space shuttle, and so we watching it, and we okay, another space shuttle. All of a sudden, boom! And I go, wait a minute.
I remember that shit. Like, dog, did you see that?
Did we get sent home from school? Come on, I'm trying to think. Like it was.
Oh no!
White people was like. And then my teacher's like, there was a teacher on board. She was a teacher. She was going to bring back all kinds of information for a classroom. I'm like, damn, she ain't bringing shit back. They won't have no more homework. They're going to have a stub on Monday. It was fucked up. But yeah, man, 9/11, man. Always mourn a great loss of life. She said, yeah, when we watched it and then we got sent home from school. I just know my mother was always just one of the most pragmatic, like real sarcastic, cynical people ever. So she was really like in not give a fuck mode. So when I come in the house, I say, yeah, them white folks still trying to go in space and went there and got their ass blew up this morning. That's how my mom, that's how she's talking about it at the crib. She's like, Mama, that was a tragedy. She said, I was trying to take their ass somewhere. They need to sit down somewhere. It's like she had no love for the astronauts. She didn't give a fuck. But yeah, man. And this is another thing. After the debate, I started to wonder about Black Trump supporters. I really did. Because I want them to put me up on, aside from the good point my brother made about the cats being missing, since we've got more Asians in our community, and that's neither here nor there. What do they see in Trump? What am I missing? We've asked this on the show plenty times, and people say policy, but there's no policy. People say
they just as ignorant as he is.
They say, well, I was doing better. I was making more money then. But I think Kamar made a great point in saying, well, you got to think back. If you was making money, you was getting more money then, it was you. It wasn't who was the president. Because Black people don't really get pratfalls from a president. When have we ever been served by a president? First of all, people say she's not Black, but when's the last time we had a Black president? We've never had one. Right. And when people say she's not Black, I also say, but Trump isn't either. What is your point? Black people, I'm trying to be.
She ain't Obama would.
He wasn't a foundational Black American by the definition of it now.
For some reason, people just, niggas, man. They don't like her because they feel like she locked up Black people. And if she didn't lock you up, And then, like you, and it almost like you guys said, if you got locked up, your scoop ass deserve to get locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like she was out there kidnapping motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, locking them up. But one guy, he had broke the statistics down about it, and he was like, come to find out, she didn't lock up no more than like 1,000 people. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even that many people.
No more than
and then, you know, but when people are misinformed,
there you go,
and you know, and they put this rhetoric out there, then people go, oh yeah, she locked up black people. Okay, Ronald Reagan did too. Motherfucking Bush did too. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember when Bush did the commercial with the war on drugs? He had like a floor and a split in the Oval Office, and he said a motherfucker got caught in front of the White House selling cocaine.
and they set him
up.
Remember
that commercial?
It was a setup. It was based on a real event, but it was a setup the whole time.
Yeah.
Wasn't even real.
You know what I'm saying? Like through history, when did nobody lock us up? Motherfuckers is, you know, black. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. I said last night because I went on some website and I heard all the black Trumpians. I was like, I don't even want to be a motherfucker's friend if they vote for Donald Trump. And if he wins
that's the line. That's the line that I get confused about because.
Yeah, I don't want to be
when did we get to that point where I'm not your friend because of who you voted for? I'm talking about black people.
I don't want to be your friend.
Damn. People say unfriend me. I ain't fucking with Campbell. I said, okay.
And I might get on your ass too because it's gonna be fucked up out here if Trump wins. See, the thing is, people haven't read Project 2025. Every time I go use the bathroom and sit down and I read that shit, little bit of that shit, little bit by little bit of that shit. That shit is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like no weird shit, but it's a lot of shit that these people are rolling back time on. What they call that, the EEOC, with the equal opportunity stuff. Yeah. They trying to revise that. They don't want to have nothing they got to do with DEI, and that's just what I'm using. But they don't want nothing to have to do with racial identity, cultural identity, religion. They don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Dion, it's gotten so. I'm sorry, but I'm like not to cut you off, but it's gotten so confusing that now black people label civil rights legislation bad because it's not just black people. Somebody giving me an echo too. I got to turn their radio down.
Well, remember we had an argument about that a couple weeks ago, and I was one of the ones that I felt like because we didn't utilize the civil rights legislation the way that we were supposed to. Everyone else, and guess who benefited from it now? Motherfucking white folks.
So my question becomes, if it benefits us at all, it's a good thing. If it happens to help some other people, that don't mean it's bad for us. Now you can say, well, it all should be directed towards us. But the reality is we're not the only individuals who've been discriminated against in this country. There have been other minority groups that have suffered discriminatory practices. Women have been discriminated against. That's true. So to throw a broad net and catch it all, I don't think that means it's necessarily bad for us as black people. But some people will say that's the reason why we haven't made any progress, because now white women benefit more from civil rights than we do. Right? Like, so there's all these splitting hair type arguments. I feel like progress is progress is progress is progress. Whether it's whether it's a happy meal or a half a meal, I believe it's the same thing. And you got to keep moving. So we are confusing ourselves because we keep chopping up the terms because we've already obliterated what we thought the word black meant. That shit is right now. You looking at other black people like, I wonder, is he really a FBA or is he a tether Negro? What is he? What's his nationality? Now, like I said before, because we did a show and I asked, was the FBA thing divisive? Absolutely, it is. But is that division necessary? Absolutely, it is. Black people have to define themselves because we just talked about the narrative being spent on her about all these people she locked up, and then you find out that that's not actually even accurate. Because what they were saying at first is she locked up all the niggas in California. And then it's like, well, no, hold on. Let's look at who she actually, then you find out it was wrong. That's why DL said, I apologize, because I've said a lot of foul shit about you, and I apologize. It was false. So that's running with that narrative. What them old folks used to say, run, tell that. Because they'll send you off to see if you was going to run your mouth and tell you a lie. You say, I want to see how far that's going to go. and you don't know it. You just out there just telling, regurgitating a lie. So I just think we've confused ourselves. Now I want to get this question too, because I wrote this down. Have us men actually changed? Are we soft now? Are we compromised? Are men in the community, even with our mentality as black men today, because we see so many black women who have all these issues that we talk about. She won't listen. She won't take accountability. She ain't no good for you. She's greedy. She's overbearing. I would think that means there's something we're not doing, right? If we're supposed to be the leaders and the heads of the households and the head of the community, that would mean we're not doing something right. Because
I'm confused. What you mean by we soft? I'm confused.
Well, because there's like, men are like, you don't get a lot of respect for masculinity these days. Like most of the time, if you're really on some real hardline masculinity, people make up names for you. They call you what they call them, transphobic, homophobic, misogynistic. You get labeled all these kinds of, when men stand on pure masculine principles. Like when you say, nah, I expect my woman to do what I say when I tell her something. People look at that now and be like, oh shit, that ain't what you mean. But it's a lot of men. But it's a lot of men who still say, man, look, you heard what the fuck I said, right? But that's frowned upon now. For a man to say, no, I'm the leader of this house now, and I don't want my son playing with baby dolls, and I don't want him painting his nails, I don't want him wearing skirts or none of that shit. Don't give him no dog, give him a Tonka truck. That's wrong. No, what are you doing? You're not allowing him to be who he is. Let him live his truth. Motherfuckers has got pronouns. There's people out here who like, I ain't got no gender. So I'm just saying, is this all a reflection of something wrong with men? It's like, what are we doing wrong?
I'm lost.
I don't think it's us. I just think it's what's being pushed to society.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you say, if we say we don't agree with something, now we wrong. You know what I mean? Now we what they call it when you don't like gay people. You know what I'm saying? Because we won't stand up for our masculinity and say, no, you can't play with that little girl doll. You can play with this car. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's society. It ain't men. Society, and how about society ain't letting men be men?
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
That's what I suggest.
So it's a society. It's a cultural thing. It's like the culture of America.
Yeah, because see, it's like you frowned upon if you go against what other people say. Because you know what I mean, motherfuckers want to change. They don't want an identity and all that type of sexual identity and shit. But no, that's what it is, and we just standing on that, and we wrong now. You know what I mean? Like the Me Too movement and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? How they just cancel a motherfucker out for saying something. Like now people scared to speak up. And that's usually how it happens. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's speaking on what's wrong or whatever, and then all they getting is backlash, eventually they gonna stop speaking on what's wrong because they don't want the confrontation. They don't want the backlash. But you see what I'm saying? So I blame it on society. It ain't men. Society ain't letting men be men.
Okay, that's a good point. But I guess my question would go to women. Their position in society has changed. Like we don't live in a society now where the man is most of the time he's not the sole breadwinner. He's not the do all be all for everything the family needs. So women are in the workforce. Women are earning more. They have more input. They're educated. They're higher. They have higher education levels than men. So if you got a woman, your level of compromise is different. So my level of compromise in conversation with my wife is way different than probably my great-great-granddaddy, because his wife probably just depended on him for everything and didn't have really a whole lot of I don't know, earning potential, but she had the babies for him and she took care of the house. So she was more likely to say, okay, whatever you say, as opposed to a woman who really can say, motherfucker, I ain't gotta listen at you. I got enough money to live somewhere else. So I'm saying as a man, you've had to adjust how you relate to your woman. Like I mean, should it still be you got your foot on her neck? Like, shut your ass up. Don't say nothing till I tell you. Get in there, cook my goddamn food, and keep this house clean. I mean, we can't still live by that. So what is the level of compromise that we can take without compromising ourselves?
I think it's on those individuals. If it's a woman that want to live where it's like, you know what I mean, that's what it is, like your grandparents, then she need to find a man that's willing to live like that and take you to everything. You know what I mean? That she expect. Like everybody is entitled to the lifestyle that they want. You know what I mean? It's just the thing is you have to find somebody, you know what I mean, who complement that.
But your thing was it's not men, it's society. So real, what do you think? Is it men? Have we lost our chutzpah, or is it a societal thing like Kamar just stated? Where you feel, how you feel?
I think it's just the times and the strategic plays that have been put into place. You know what I'm saying? As far as I don't think men are a problem. I think it's the lack of men in society that's a problem.
Okay.
I mean, you have males in society, and a lot of them weren't raised by men. They were raised by mothers. So for me, when I hear a woman talk about how men are soft these days, to me, what we complain about is a reflection of us. So a lot of they say men are overly emotional, overly sensitive these days, but the actuality is men are human, so they always had emotions. It's just now they're exercising the ability to have more emotions than anger. You know what I'm saying? So they may have been emotional before, but the only emotion that was safe to show was anger. Whereas now they can say, hey man, I feel kind of fucked up. Like the other day when you asked me if I was all right, I'm like, real shit, man, I'm kind of overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's good with my health. That got my money looking funny. That got me borderline depressed, you know, while I'm trying to figure this shit out. You know, before somebody can't say that shit because it's like, oh man, he's the man. He's supposed to know what's going on. He's supposed to be able to lead, you know, and now more people could be like, you know what? I still handle my business, but shit, at times I got to work a little extra harder for a nigga knee not to buckle.
But if you, okay, so in your situation, if you're going through, we all go through that. As strong as my father was, he went through some. So it was time when he was sick. There was times, you know, when he like, man, we all got to tighten up because dude is down, right? Like my father had like 4 heart attacks. But it didn't compromise his masculinity.
Right.
What you go through. Now, I would say if you were going through that and you was taking it out on your wife,
right?
You was beating on your wife, or you done tow the crib up, or I called you and you was like, man, I'm in my yard. I'm fucked up about this bitch. Then I'd be like, whoa, like you're dealing with this the wrong way. Which we all do from time to time.
I've been privileged to take emotional intelligence classes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The average dude who ain't got those outlets or resources, like I told you.
So you saying it's men, not society? Because Kamar said society, not men. So you saying men are, we have changed.
I'm saying it's the lack of men, because now we don't really have a lot of examples of men in society. We have motherfuckers who never seen a man telling us what they expect a man to be. You know what I'm saying? But the mama or the lady who complaining about a sensitive ass dude is raising her son to be her bestie and her best friend. So it's like, you got to eat that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I always use the example of Friday, because I be watching. Every time I watch Friday, I see some new shit. And I was like, you notice at the beginning of Friday, Smokey went over there to gossip about Red Ass. But then when they got to his mama house, what the fuck was she doing? On the phone gossiping. So it's like, it's learned behavior. And if niggas ain't got a man to emulate, they're going to emulate a woman who may be sensitive, who may be catty, who may be petty, who may be impulsive, who don't know how to handle her emotions.
And Craig was different. He was the counter because he woke up to his daddy on his ass about losing his job.
Exactly.
Okay. Damn. I didn't know you was going there, brother. Okay. Okay. I didn't know you was gonna go that deep, brother.
Hey,
every time I
like
see Friday, I just find a new reason why
said a lot without saying a lot. And what
Go ahead, Dion.
Kamar said a lot without saying a lot. And he said some shit what we was just talking about earlier when I got off the highway. Why everybody likes Trump. And so niggas, a lot of people are tired of being censored. That's the word I'm looking for. Motherfuckers want to say faggot, punk bitch, son of a bitch, blah, 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 blah. They want to, just get vulgar. But you'll be censored, you'll be canceled, you'll be ostracized, all that bullshit. So basically, with a guy like Trump, and this ain't got nothing to do with what, but I was just thinking about what Kamar said. This ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about now. But with Trump, it's like he says all that shit, and for some reason, people look at it and they enjoy it and they cheer it on. But it's a difference if you're looking at it for an entertainment purpose. It's a big difference when this man is going to be making decisions.
But hold on, because you veered way off the course of what the question was. The only thing I could tie with Trump is he does represent what that old school image of what the masculine man looks like. Like he's, Trump is that dude, that the old asshole, the man. He's the head of everything. He's rich. He's always been a puppeteer for people. And so people say, see, that's an example of toxic masculinity. That's why I say with anything masculine, anything that's us, like, because to me, there's been a spirit of women really trying to do everything that we do now. When I think back in the days, that wasn't necessarily the case. So we box, they want to box. We drive race cars, they want to drive race cars. If I'm shooting hoop, you want to shoot hoop. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I see women, because I look at women's boxing and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, why are women boxing? Like, and I feel like some of them just do it because men do it, because they want to do what men do.
Yeah, that's that feminist movement.
So that's why I said
feminist movement.
We've had to accept this, is what I'm saying. And then a lot of us who got daughters kind of changed our stance on it too, and saying, no, hell no. Yeah, my baby girl can do whatever she want to do. Shouldn't be no limits. And I don't want my daughter going into a relationship where she's totally dependent on a man and totally subservient to him. I would want her to still maintain a part of her that kept her, able to take care of herself and take care of things in case we got to get rid of this bomb. Mariah Johnson, you are correct when I know what you're talking about when you said ask Carl Pfeiffer. We had the conversation about Trump and Kamala. It was a great conversation, trust me. I was so entertained by Cuz is a nutty buddy politically. I'm trying to tell you. The shit was hilarious. Because most of the time with my cousin, if you make some point that you got from research, or like you think you making sense with some numbers, he gonna say, man, fuck that shit. I don't care about none of that anyways. I said what I said. So it's like, all right, like the statistics don't matter. He's masculine, right? She said, if you do wrong, you're supposed to get locked up. Absolutely. Lock their ass up. Mariah Johnson says, with working with the state before, men, and I mean more white women, were receiving state benefits, and she said they abort more. Okay. Ewok says Donald Trump wants the authority to walk in anyone's house without a warrant, looking for illegal immigrants. No questions asked. He actually said that shit. Well, he said this shit in Israel wouldn't have never happened because he said they were scared of him. He was like, that shit wouldn't have happened when I was president because all the motherfuckers were scared of me. He said the other leaders around the world were saying, damn, America, they got to get Trump back. And I'm like, Trump, how is you going to stop Israel and Palestine from fight? First of all, they fought under you when you were president as well. It just didn't go all the way, and we knew one day it would get to the scale it got to. They've been fighting since the 50s. The fuck you talking about, Trump? The 40s when it happened. I would what was you gonna do? He said Putin's my friend. He knew better. He wouldn't have went into Ukraine if I was. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Stop it. Like it was just. Jeff Crape says civil rights guarantees protection by the Constitution and federal laws protected by Congress. It protects unlawful discrimination. It changes with the time and not based on color, creed, or none of that. It was never built for just blacks. Right. Well, that's understandable. Wouldn't it still, like, wouldn't it be more the same? Wouldn't we be hypocritical if we said, well, just fuck everybody else, just give us our rights? Because ain't we then doing to other people what the white man was doing to us? But I know there's a lot of black people who say that, man, fuck white people. I don't care about them. Just let me get my shit. Dion, I want to give you a chance because I want you to tell me, is this society or have men gotten weaker? Just answer that. Which one you think it is? Or I lost him. He probably hung up on me like, fuck you, Kel. I mean, but Dion was still talking about Trump. We were talking about something else. You got to keep up, son. He said, it's we the people who decide the standard. This is Jeff Crape. He said the standard is now twisted. Jeff Crape said we are micromanaging versus macro managing. Okay. My cousin, shout out to Terrence Webb. He said, if you got boss balls in your drawers, a real man is gonna let them hang and bang like cowbells. Society can't squeeze a hat on my head that don't fit. Shout out to Cuz, man. Let me say, he said, if you got boss balls in your drawers, a real man gonna let them hang and bang. You gotta love my family, man. Y'all see how I grew up? Mariah said, I was just brought up in a home where my mother was home until she wanted to work. She took care of home. A woman has to want balance. I work every day and my guy do as well. It boils down to respect. That's very true. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I don't want to go back because I'd rather have a working woman. I really don't want no woman who don't work. wouldn't want a woman who doesn't work. Somebody who I just want to sit at home. Well, my kid's grown. I don't. What you doing now? Like you don't. I just want to sit at home. I would. That's not attractive to me. That would be something I would say. No, I'm gonna need you. Let's. We need two heads is better than one. I feel like, and two incomes make a bullshit day feel dandy. So I've always been like, because I want her to have motivation and ambition as well. This ain't coming to America. What you like? Whatever you like.
Whatever you like.
Whatever foods you like. I don't want to be married to no bot. And so for a woman to be a go-getter, as they say, a woman who has ambition to say, no, I want to. Now, it shouldn't be so much where it's like, fuck you. Like, I'm by my money, nigga. Fuck you. Like, no, I don't want that. But I think we should both contribute to this pot. Now, if I was making a certain amount of money, I would still say, well, it's not as important for you to work, but I would still like you to do something other than just sitting here, while I'm getting money, So, that's just me though. Some people like a woman. So I'd rather have my woman. I've heard men say, I told my woman not to work because she was ultimately working when we had kids just to pay for daycare. And we saved money by her just staying home, taking care of the kids. That might have worked for them. Daycare was it was very expensive. So I understood that, but so was everything else. Right? Like, so you got a car and you need your hair done and shoes and purses and shit. This just still costs money, man. Maybe it's just because I was never that rich. I never was that rich where I could say, baby, you'll never got to work again. Right? Maybe that day will come one day. I don't know. I still got my fingers crossed. But this is Jeff Crape in the chat room. He's saying that's what I'm saying in a different way. Perfectly spoken, my brother. Mariah said, I don't want to do what a man do. That's not all. Well, you don't, cuz you may be an anomaly. Like a lot of women, they pride themselves on like, I can do whatever you do. Like you can change the tire. I know how to change the tire. I change my own oil. You be like, oh shit, excuse me. Go ahead.
Again, this one of them things where it's like different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? It really is, man, because this society is different today. Some people changed, some people didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to find what's compatible for you. Quit worrying about what everybody else doing and just find what you like.
Yeah.
Or will fit,
That goes without saying because, personal preference.
Because you're like, hey, really, and then like we can look at it like this too, right? Here's another perspective. A man's job is to make it so a woman don't have to do none of the hard shit. You know what I mean? And then it's different ways, the way that where she make our life cushiony too. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can make it so you don't have to work, I want that to be. I want you to be happy. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind having a woman that work either. We can work that out too.
You said
so I can go both ways. It's just
You said a man's job is to make sure a woman doesn't have to have no hardships.
Well, I ain't gonna say no hardships because everybody gonna have hardships. We just talking about work. You know what I mean? And I was just saying, a man's job is to make it easy on a woman. Like, okay, I'm gonna protect my woman by. It's ways you protect her by not actually doing shit, right? Like, okay, if you finna go out here and change your tire, you shouldn't have to go outside and change your own tire from here.
If you got right, okay.
You know what I mean? So it's my job to make it easy for you a bit. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to do the hard shit.
Okay.
And then you talk about out here in society, like dealing with people out here in the workforce and everything. You know what I mean? That creates space for your woman to where she can possibly get into it with somebody. Or you can't always protect her. You know what I mean? When you ain't there. And you know what I mean? So I ain't saying nothing to happen, but you know what I mean? It's just about being able to control.
I think the
have a little
word
control, you know what I'm saying, to be able to protect.
The word that we could put to this is chivalry. So it's a man's. I get what you're saying. I was trying to get clarity on it because I don't. Sometimes if a woman just is constantly telling this man, it's your job to make sure, and it's like, well, hold on, no. What they say, two hots in a cot. Okay.
Right.
My responsibility is to get the roof up. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
Okay. My responsibility.
Texas, you got to turn that down.
Your radio down. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down.
He can't even hear me. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this straight.
My responsibility
is this Jeff? Jeff, you got to turn your device down.
Hold
Ooh,
on.
I hate delays.
You got to turn your device down. Oh, sorry.
And I know y'all know anytime Jeff calls in, he has a serious delay. Jeff, can you hear me?
I can hear you, boss.
What's going on?
Hey, man, I want to say this, man. It's the funny thing. Like, I called in and hung up, but man, what Kamar said, dude, put the shit together. And your cuz, man, he spoke on something, and Rail spoke on something, and we were talking about the whole Kamala thing. But here's what it is, dude. That when I talked about civil rights and all that, I'm gonna break it down to what Kamar said because the shit made sense, bro. It's about, like, when we're talking about chivalry, if we want to put that word that way, it's a man's choice of how he want to run his household, how he want to run his family, right? And so if that's the way you choose to do it, my nigga, you're not asking for help. This is what the fuck you gonna do, regardless of what everybody else do. And I think the problem is, man, everybody's looking for some help. Man, you pick what you're gonna do. What your cuz said about, man, you have the balls, you do what the fuck you gonna do, and that's what it is. And what happens. That's the way it's supposed to be. People keep getting on this black shit, this civil rights shit. Man, handle your own, bro, first. Handle that shit. You ain't got to worry about jail. You ain't got to worry about none of that shit. Get your kids in school. Do this shit. What happens with the government, if you haven't figured it out yet, bro, government ain't going to help us. Keep praying. Keep doing that shit. But at the end of the day, you got to get the fuck up and do something. I'm the same way where I look at, man, I'm going to take care of my woman. If she don't work, that's cool, but that's not her household, but I'm not asking the government for help. Everybody got to understand what you're voting for, though, bro, is how does it affect you? You vote for Kamala, you don't vote for Trump, man, fuck both them niggas. I don't give a fuck about both of them. They ain't helping me like that. And that's all I'm trying to say, man. Y'all got a great fucking conversation coming on. I didn't want to dig into it, but what I'm saying, when people start talking about this civil rights shit just being built for blacks, bro, it never was. It never was.
Right.
And if you believe that, I'm sorry, I think that's a fallacy, bro. You got to build your own community. You got to build your own shit.
Got you.
I'm out and I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I want to say. I've seen some things that was said there that, man, I hear y'all talking about some real shit. I love Rel. I've never had a personal conversation with this man, but, man, the dude. Dude, that's what people need to listen to. Stop waiting for somebody to help you. Ain't nobody going to help you. And that's all I'm saying. So whatever you're voting for, man, you go ahead and get your vote on.
There you go.
I'm just saying, dude, do your thing, take care of your family, handle the shit to the best way you can handle your shit, and handle that shit and keep moving.
Appreciate your input, my brother. Peace, man. Peace from the neighborhood. I got Ewok on the line. I know Dion was on the line. And I'm sure Dion will call back. Ewok, what's on your mind?
Man, what I keep trying to repeat, you know what I'm saying, and I think that people miss. I'm not a lover of no Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, however you pronounce Harris. But see, I'm not looking for her to do anything for me either. What I want to do is protect myself from somebody who's blatantly telling me what he will do.
Right.
He's going to allow people to run you over in your car if you peacefully march. He wants the authority to use the army to make you stop peacefully marching. He wants to go in houses with no warrant looking for Haitians and Mexicans and shit. He's telling you what he's going to do. Now, how you going to sit there and be quiet and silent and allow this motherfucker that's telling how dangerous he is and say, well, I just ain't going to vote. No, you got to keep that motherfucker from out of there. What part of that shit don't people get, man? He's blatantly saying he's going to allow your daughter, your wife, your sister, your niece, you know what I'm saying, whoever, to not have an abortion if they in the middle of the street finna die and need medical attention. The doctors are scared to do the surgery on them to help them survive, or the doctor is scared because he think he going to prison and shit because of these laws that they got in place. This man is blatantly telling you he's about to do this shit. But y'all gonna sit around and say, we don't need no handout. We don't worry about the motherfucker who's saying blatantly that he's gonna cause you harm and injury and disrespect you and not allow you to be nothing. So shit, it's more than some damn I like Kamala Harris. I don't care if she black, blah blah blah. I don't care about her neither. What I care about is the enemy that's telling me what the fuck he gonna do. And on that note, I'm out.
All right. Shout out to Ewok in Arizona by way of the 414. And with this election, it just comes down to that. I think, like I said, Willie D had the show, and he came up with his whole thing where he said anybody but Trump. And I'm not saying Willie D, is biting our shit. But the reality is, we've been saying that for a long time. We've been saying that it wasn't really so much about us being in love with Kamala. It was more or less that we wanted anybody except for Trump to be the president. And that argument still is, there's a lot of people who disagree, because one thing I've discovered is there's a lot of black people who actually like Trump. They feel like he stands for something. I don't know what he stands for to them. Maybe they feel like because he's, they feel like he's some sort of outlaw or some kind of maverick or something because of his lack of ethics and him being uncouth all the time. Like, a lot of black people, we cheerleaders for foolishness. Like we probably give more credit and more credence to the anti-heroes, even in culturally. Like the outlaw, the bad guy's the good guy. There are movies we like. Superfly, he's a pimp, drug dealer. The Mac, he's a pimp, right? New Jack City, people love the drug dealers more than they love the cops. Like all of the thug hood movies where oh man, don't die, don't Day and or those Doughboy. I said Day, that was Friday. But we do cheerlead for the anti-hero because for so long the laws that were in place and the structure that was established wasn't made for us and didn't benefit us. So we've always had this kind of fuck it attitude. And we revel in that. It's like, black people don't fuck that shit. I mean, a lot of black people answer that question with that answer. When you say, why you doing this? And they say, shit, because I'm a nigga. This is how we do shit. They say, because I'm a black man, because I'm black. That's how. And you say, oh, okay. Like, I hope that work out for you. Mariah's in the chat room. She said, I can change my own oil, but I don't want to. I need my man. There you go. And most of the time, if you got a woman that's good to you, and she say, baby, can you take my car to get my oil change? You say, I got you, baby. I'll take it up there. You feel kind of good going down to taking my wife's car to get. But if she always in your ass for some shit, you be like, oh, you change that shit yourself. I'll be damned if I get a damn drip of oil put in that car. I think you get what you give out. Shout out to TR Arthur in the chat room. She said, good evening, Kevin Kamar and the Outlaw family. How you doing? Now, today, block Mama Jenkins. We got to give Mama Jenkins the YouTube link. That's what I'm going to do. Mama Jenkins, I'm going to send you the YouTube link so they can stop messing with you. Because I know they always get at Mama Jenkins when she up in here. And what we're talking about, we're talking about women and men and who wants what and relationships and happiness. But the story of Terrence Mathis, Judge Terrence Mathis and his wife, who files for divorce after what 40, 50 years, something like that. 40 years. And she said the reason why is because he worked too much. Now, the reason I'm going back to that is because we were just talking about how a man's job is to go out and make enough money and put her in a position where she never has to struggle. She doesn't have to work. She can sit back and just do her. And then that's the dichotomy, is that the woman then says, well, you work too much. And she starts saying, well, money ain't everything. But as soon as you broke, she'd be like, you need to get up and go do something. Like, so it leaves men confused. It's like, is there really, like, how can you win? When they say nice guys finish last, it's sometimes men feel that way, so they lock up and be like, fuck that. If I show any kind of weakness or vulnerability, I'm going to get played, so I'm going to keep my foot on the motherfucking neck. Tiasha says the caller spoke facts. The Klan leader's been saying he wants to be a dictator for the longest. You see how he said the immigrants, Haitians, are eating Springfield people pets. Is that who he's talking about? Haitians I know Dion had corrected me because I thought it was in Illinois and I thought it was Hispanics. But so it's the Haitians that are eating the cats. Okay. That's the clarity I needed on that. Thank you, Tiasha. Jeff Crape said, again, we set the standard and the standard changes. That's in terms of men. And it's sometimes your man, lady, sometimes your man don't even know. He don't know what he's left like, well, if I say something, then it's going to be a problem. If I ignore it, it's going to get worse. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. So sometimes you just got to roll the dice again. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission. So I would just usually just say something about it. Like, fuck it. It's going to be bad. And whether it's coming later on or coming right now, it's going to still come. So you usually just, it's better off to do that. And there's been some shit where you said, I'm not going to say nothing. And it did build up and it got worse. So when y'all did have an argument, all the old shit came out. It's like, damn, we arguing about some shit that happened months ago. This didn't even just happen. So communication in relationships is hard. And so all that plays into where we are in terms of gender standards and gender expectations. I really want to get a relationship expert on this show. So if y'all know any, shoot them to me. If you know any like Black relationship experts, marriage counselors, I'm going to find somebody who does that. We're going to bring them in. We're going to talk about that. Because I've seen men who said, I'm going to therapy to save my marriage, and they still got divorced. And I've seen men who said, fuck therapy, I ain't going, and their marriage was saved, and vice versa. So what's the real deal with that? He said, okay, no, this is Tiarsha. She said, don't mess up my man's name. His name is Greg Mathis. What I call him, Terrence Mathis, and I do that all the time. His name is Greg Mathis, and I didn't know that was your man. Let me get one of these for calling him Terrence. Nigga look like his name Terrence, my bad. Jeff Crape said, check your nuts and go on. Boys do what they can, men do what they want. You picked your battle. I pick wisely. Shout out to Tinashe Indisanga. Hawk to a spit on that thing. I'm hoping this is a lady. She said English or Spanish. I don't know what that exactly means. You knew Hawk Tua spit on that thing, so I don't know. That seemed like that seemed like that's some shit I might get in trouble for having a conversation about some Hawk Tua. Greg Mathis, not Terrence Mathis. I'm sorry, y'all. I fucked his name up, and I do it all the time, right? So look here, man. This is what we're gonna do. It's 9:30. This is the last show of the week. I feel like I'm back in my teaching days. I'm about to let y'all out of class early. I like the whole thing with the election thing is just keep in mind. Like I said, there's a lot of bells and whistles. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I didn't really get anything new from this debate. It proved to me what I already knew. But I like my mind is made up too. That's why I talk about people who love Trump. Their mind is made up. Mine is made up too. I'm anti-Trump. So my mind, and it's not too much you can say to me that's going to change my feelings. Tiasha said, I thought it was Illinois also because he said Aurora and Springfield. Both are in, yeah, okay. But people are saying he's talking about Ohio. I thought he said Aurora. I heard him say that. I heard him say that. Say, who you got in the election? I don't have a dog in the fight. The only thing I got is the right to vote, and I'm going to exercise it. Neither one of them are for me. I'm not going to wake up if she gets elected, it's not going to be Black People Day the next day. If he gets elected, it ain't going to be Black People Day. There's nothing in this for us except for the opportunity to extinguish Trump's racist inferno. Yes, I put it like that. And I still owe the government for them words. So please share the show because I need to pay these fucking student loans off. I'm going to get out of here, man. I want y'all to be safe, man. Keep God involved if you can. Whoever, what it is, whatever deity you praise, just praise something, man. You know, pray to somebody. They say you got to believe in something. So you need to really be focused on trying to understand it's something bigger than you. And you need to acknowledge that individual, and you need to be grateful for every day you have above ground, right? Especially when you get to be our age. But the most important thing you got to do is focus on being the type of person that does things instead of just talking about shit. So in terms of the community, you can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, but never do nothing or never work in a capacity where you're helping the community. But what that ultimately makes you is a person whose criticism of the community outweighs your contribution, and that will leave you stuck on coon mode. I will see y'all Monday, man. Share the show, share the show, share the show. Peace and love.